I'm Christy Glass. I live in New York City. I love to run.
Yeah, now keep going, Crazy Eight.
I love to crochet. This is my latest project. It's called my scrap gan. It's an Afghan made of scraps. Watch how happy I am as I hook. And I love being a mom. My children do not know how to make their bed. That's for sure. What I love about New York City is the sights, smells, religions, the arts, culture, dance. The list goes on and on and on. That's why I love raising my children here. Say we start practicing at 6:30.
We start practicing at 6:30.
Only you say it. There were hard parts of growing up for me. When I was 5 years old, my parents split, so my dad was essentially out of my life at that point. The pattern with my dad was that he would phone and say, we're gonna get together at this time. Then he would call and say, it's not gonna happen. There was one time he was telling me about a cat he got me for my birthday, and I am allergic to cats. So at that point, I realized that he didn't know me. And as the years went by, my mother finally sat me down and said, your stepdad wants to adopt you, and your dad has said that's okay. And so even though the world was telling me that the gift of adoption is the ultimate gift, as a 12-year-old girl, all I could think about is, I'm your daughter, and you're giving me away. Because of my experience with my dad, divorce was always on the table for me. Like, okay, well, if things get really, really hard, we can just end this. I finally saw through my husband's example just how committed he was to me. He saw me through so many trials. I mean, my dad left on a sunny day, and my husband stayed during all of the thunderstorms. I'd been married for a few years, and I was reading a book with a character that reminded me of myself. It was a girl and her father, and he had essentially abandoned her. And at the end of the book, she forgave him. And as I closed the book, I felt this weight lift. I didn't realize I held onto my hurt for so long. When I closed the book, I forgave my dad. And it was the first time that it had even occurred to me that I needed to forgive him. And to actually do it freed me. And I felt so light and almost like I was a child again, starting over. Have a good day, okay? Love you! You know, growing up in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I was taught to forgive. And I am so grateful that at the beginning of my marriage, I got to this point of forgiving my dad, because then I looked at my husband in a different way. I could forgive him his faults, and I became more committed to him. I want my children to know that it is because of Jesus Christ that they can forgive others. I hope that when the really big trials come, they will know that they can also find happiness and peace because they're not alone. I'm Christy Glass. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a city girl, and I'm a Mormon.